Hey, if you haven't watched my last video, I want you to watch that before you watch this one. The last video I talked about what is this whole life by design idea? What is this thing that a lot of people are doing? What is this thing that maybe you want to be doing, but you don't know how to start? So watch that video, and then in this video, I'm going to cover 4 ways that you can get rockin' and rollin' on designing your own life. 4 steps that you can do to make this possible for yourself. So the first step is really knowing and believing that this is possible for you. You have a choice in how you want to live your life. Isn't that cool? You have a choice. So I want you to be clear and know that you don't have to follow the status quo. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. You don't have to be in a cubicle if you don't want to. You just have to open your mind up, and you have to realize that you can have this crazy, awesome, cool, vibrant life that you want. You just have to know that it is possible for you and be willing to open your mind and to really visualize what it is that you want, and know that it is so going to happen for you if you commit and you really put in the work to make it happen. But first is knowing and believing. Remember, this life is yours, and you get to call the shots. So in my last video, I told you my story, and basically I thought that I had to be one thing. I thought that I had to be a certain way, and there was no other way for me to dream big and make a change in my life. And then one day I woke up and I was stuck in a rut. I wasn't happy. My marriage was literally not where I wanted it to be. I was sad inside. My kids were suffering, and I finally looked in the mirror and I thought, there's gotta be something more. And when I found a way to live a life by my design, I was all in. So you've got to be all in. Are you all in? Number 2, get selfish. Has anyone ever told you to get selfish in life? I'm telling you to get selfish. I'm giving you permission to spend time with yourself and spend time in thought and figure out what it is that you want. Like, do some soul searching. Figure it out. Figure out what's going to make you happy. Figure out what's going to give you this life that when you are on your deathbed one day, that you won't say, I have regrets. I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have followed my heart. I wish I would have done something that made me super ridiculously happy. And by selfish, that doesn't mean you don't want to look out for your kids, your family, and those that you love. I'm not saying ignore them, but I'm saying for a while, look inward and see what it is that lights you up and makes you so flipping happy and excited. It's okay to do that. And really journal about it and write things down and do the questionnaire from my last video, because it will really, really help you understand what it is that you want. Get selfish. So number 3 is I want you to embrace change. So you need to not only get selfish, but you need to basically visualize and then write out a blueprint of what it is that you want. So like I said, journal, fill out the last questionnaire, but really write on paper what you want your life to look like. My husband always does this with me. He's, every couple of months we write out our goals together, and he'll say to me, Molly, I know that you've accomplished this. I know that you have succeeded in this, and that's so awesome, but what do you want now? I want you to visualize what it is that you want. That's what he says to me. Visualize what you want your life to look like in a month, 3 months, 6 months, a year from now, 5 years, 10 years from now. You've got to have a vision, you've got to know, or you're basically just wandering around. So I want you to embrace the change and know that it's so worth it to take the time to figure out what it is that you want, and that, yeah, changes are gonna happen, but they're gonna be changes that are gonna make you so much better. And then to piggyback on that, I want you to know that if you are saying, well, the timing's not right, I'm gonna wait for this, I'm gonna wait till all the stars are aligned, guess what? The stars are never gonna align. Timing's never gonna be right. You just have to be willing to jump and say, hey, time's going by, I might as well get started. I might as well start making a change today. You've gotta just start. I wanna read a quote from Tim Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Work Week. This is a great quote, and it literally gave me chills and made me think about this. He says, someday is a disease that will take your dreams to the grave with you. Isn't that crazy? Someday is a disease. I love that. He says, pro and con lists are just as bad. If it's important to you and you want it, you've got to do it. You can't say eventually. You've got to do it, and you have to make changes along the journey, along the way. So nothing's gonna be perfect, but if you just keep saying, someday, someday, I have done this, I've been guilty of it, and then a year goes by, and another year goes by, and then I remember feeling sad that I just wasn't willing to just go, even though I might suck at it, and watching other people do what I wanted to do. And I remember just being like, oh, so frustrated. And then the day I decided, forget that. I'm just gonna go. And I'm gonna learn so much. And yeah, I might be bad at it, but I just have to go. So I wanna encourage you, whatever it is, just go, just start. And so there's my last tip. Starting is key. Even if it is small, even if it's just baby steps. You don't have to take giant leaps forward and be a pro right away. Like, nobody was a pro right away. You can look at all of the top businessmen. They didn't just all of a sudden, you know, Mark Zuckerberg wasn't all of a sudden this multimillionaire with this huge business. No, he started small. Same with Steve Jobs. I mean, same with so many people. But the thing between them and someone who else that's not successful is that they did it and they just took the leap. So you've got to start. And once you do, you're not gonna wanna stop, because you're gonna be like, this is so awesome. I'm doing what I was made to do. I'm living my life on purpose, and I'm going to create a life by my design, which is the best feeling ever. Like, you'll wake up every morning excited to do what you're doing. Who wakes up excited for what they're doing when they're working a job that they hate? You know what I mean? And so I just want you to really embrace this and know that you're so worth it. Oh my gosh, so many people are like, well, maybe they can do it, you know, and their shoulders go all like this. But, you know, they think other people are deserving of living a life by design. Heck no, you can totally do it too. And so I really want you to understand that. Go for it. Step out in faith. Do what others are scared to do. Do it. I mean, wouldn't you be so proud of yourself if you were like, I could have just waited and I could have done what she's doing and she's kind of miserable, or he's whatever. No, that's not you. You've got to step out in faith and know that you have a purpose. You have a message to share with people. You have valuable information and you have cool things to share with people to help change their lives. You do. Yes, you. And so just get started. Go for it. Go through the questionnaire in the last video and get moving. Step by step, baby steps, whatever it takes. But I promise you this, when you do this, when you step out in faith and you do what others are too scared to do, you will live more vibrantly. You will wake up with butterflies. You will be happier. You will be more successful. I promise you this. It's just the craziest feeling. You will be excited about life, and everyone wants to be excited about life, right? So I want you to do this so bad, and give me comments. Let me know what you're doing. Let me know if this video helped you. Let me know what you want to hear more of. And of course, share it with a friend if you think that they need to hear this too. All of us need to be reminded that we are capable of awesomeness and that we should just do it. We should just go for it and live a life that we flippin' love. Why not? I want that for you. So subscribe, let me know, and the next video is gonna be great, and so make sure you see that one too. See you later. Might run into this problem too. So I'm gonna give you a couple of tips that I do to help you in this situation.